Hadīth 1. Narrated Sahih bin Sa'd, there was a dispute amongst the people of the tribe of Bani Amr bin Auf. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, went to them along with some of his companions in order to make peace between them. The time for the prayer became due, but the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, did not turn up. Bilal pronounced the adhan, that is, call, for the prayer, but the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, did not turn up, so Bilal went to Abu Bakr and said, the time for the prayer is due and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, is detained, would you lead the people in the prayer? Abu Bakr replied, yes, if you wish. So, Bilal pronounced the iqamah of the prayer and Abu Bakr went ahead, to lead the prayer, but the Prophet came walking among the rows till he joined the first row. The people started clapping and they clapped too much, and Abu Bakr used not to look hither and thither in the prayer, but he turned round and saw the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, standing behind him. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, beckoned him with his hand to keep on praying where he was. Abu Bakr raised his hand and praised Allah, and then retreated till he came in the first row, and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, went ahead and led the people in the prayer. When the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, finished the prayer, he turned towards the people and said, O people! When something happens to you during the prayer, you start clapping. Really, clapping is permissible for women only. If something happens to one of you in his prayer, he should say, Subhanallah, glorified be Allah, for whoever hears him, saying so, will direct his attention towards him. O Abu Bakr! What prevented you from leading the people in the prayer when I beckoned to you, to continue? Abu Bakr replied, it did not befit the son of Abu Quhafa to lead the prayer in front of the Prophet. Hadīth 2. Narrated on us, it was said to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, would that you see Abdullāh bin Ubayy. So, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, went to him, riding a donkey, and the Muslims accompanied him, walking on salty barren land. When the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, reached Abdullāh bin Ubayy, the latter said, keep away from me. By Allah, the bad smell of your donkey has harmed me. On that, an Ansari man said, to Abdullāh, by Allah, the smell of the donkey of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, is better than your smell. On that, a man from Abdullah's tribe got angry for Abdullah's sake, and the two men abused each other, which caused the friends of the two men to get angry, and the two groups started fighting with sticks, shoes, and hands. We were informed that the following divine verse was revealed, in this concern, and if two groups of believers fall to fighting, then make peace between them. Surah 49, Ayah 9. Hadīth 3. Narrated Kulthum bint Uqbah, that she heard Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, saying, he who makes peace between the people by inventing good information or saying good things, is not a liar. Hadīth 4. Narrated Sahih bin Sa'd, once the people of Quba fought with each other till they threw stones on each other. When Allah's Apostle was informed about it, he said, let us go to bring about a reconciliation between them. Hadīth 5. Narrated Aisha, the following verse, if a woman fears cruelty or desertion on her husband's part, that is, the husband notices something unpleasant about his wife, such as old age or the like, and wants to divorce her, but she asks him to keep her and provide for her as he wishes. Surah 4, Ayah 128, there is no blame on them if they reconcile on such basis. Hadīth 6. Narrated Abu Hurairah and Zayd bin Khalid al-Juhani, a Bedouin came and said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. Judge between us according to Allah's laws. His opponent got up and said, he is right. Judge between us according to Allah's laws. The Bedouin said, my son was a laborer working for this man, and he committed illegal sexual intercourse with his wife. The people told me that my son should be stoned to death, so, in lieu of that, I paid a ransom of 100 sheep and a slave girl to save my son. Then I asked the learned scholars who said, your son has to be lashed 100 lashes and has to be exiled for 1 year. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, no doubt I will judge between you according to Allah's laws. The slave girl and the sheep are to go back to you, and your son will get 100 lashes and 1 year exile. He then addressed somebody, O Unais. Go to the wife of this man, and stone her to death. So, Unais went and stoned her to death. Hadīth 7. Narrated Aisha, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, if somebody innovates something which is not in harmony with the principles of our religion, that thing is rejected. Hadīth 8. Narrated Al-Barā bin Azib, when Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, concluded a peace treaty with the people of Hudaybiyah, Ali bin Abu Talib wrote the document and he mentioned in it, Muhammad, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. The pagans said, don't write, Muhammad, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, for if you were an apostle we would not fight with you. Allah's apostle asked Ali to rub it out, but Ali said, I will not be the person to rub it out. Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, rubbed it out and made peace with them on the condition that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and his companions would enter Makkah and stay there for 3 days, and that they would enter with their weapons in cases. Hadīth 9. Narrated Al-Barā, when the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, intended to perform Umrah in the month of Dhul-Qa'dah, the people of Makkah did not let him enter Makkah till he settled the matter with them by promising to stay in it for 3 days only. When the document of treaty was written, the following was mentioned, these are the terms on which Muhammad, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, agreed to make peace. They said, we will not agree to this, for if we believe that you are Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, we would not prevent you, but you are Muhammad bin Abdullāh. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, I am Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and also Muhammad bin Abdullāh. Then he said to Ali, rub off the words, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, but Ali said, no, by Allah, I will never rub off your name. So, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, took the document and wrote, this is what Muhammad bin Abdullāh has agreed upon, no arms will be brought into Makkah except in their cases, and nobody from the people of Makkah will be allowed to go with him, that is, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, even if he wished to follow him, and he, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, will not prevent any of his companions from staying in Makkah if the latter wants to stay. When the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, entered Makkah and the time limit passed, the Meccans went to Ali and said, tell your friend, that is, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, to go out, as the period, agreed to, has passed. So, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, went out of Makkah. The daughter of Hamza ran after them, that is, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and his companions, calling, O uncle! O uncle! Ali received her and led her by the hand and said to Fatima, take your uncle's daughter. Zayd and Ja'far quarreled about her. Ali said, I have more right to her as she is my uncle's daughter. Ja'far said, she is my uncle's daughter, and her aunt is my wife. Zayd said, she is my brother's daughter. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, judged that she should be given to her aunt, and said that the aunt was like the mother. He then said to Ali, you are from me and I am from you, and said to Ja'far, you resemble me both in character and appearance, and said to Zayd, you are our brother, in faith, and our freed slave. Hadīth 10. Narrated Al-Barā bin Azib, on the day of Hudaybiyah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, made a peace treaty with the Al-Mushrikun on 3 conditions. 1. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, would return to them any person from Al-Mushrikun, polytheists, idolaters, pagans. 2. Al-Mushrikun, pagans, would not return any of the Muslims going to them, and 3. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and his companions would come to Makkah the following year and would stay there for 3 days and would enter with their weapons in cases, for example, swords, arrows, bows, etc. Abu Jandal came hopping, his legs being chained, but the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, returned him to Al-Mushrikun. Hadīth 11. Narrated Ibn Umar, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, set out for the Umrah, but the pagans of Quraysh prevented him from reaching the Kaaba. So, he slaughtered his sacrifice and got his head shaved at Al-Hudaybiyah, and agreed with them that he would perform Umrah the following year and would not carry weapons except swords and would not stay in Makkah except for the period they allowed. So, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, performed the Umrah in the following year and entered Makkah according to the treaty, and when he stayed for 3 days, the pagans ordered him to depart, and he departed. Hadīth 12. Narrated Sahal bin Abu Hathma, Abdullāh bin Sahal and Muhayyisah bin Mas'ud bin Zayd went to Khaybar when it had a peace treaty with the Muslims. Hadīth 13. Narrated Anas, Ar-Rabi'a, the daughter of An-Nadr broke the tooth of a girl, and the relatives of Ar-Rabi'a requested the girl's relatives to accept the irsh, compensation for wounds etc., and forgive the offender, but they refused. So, they went to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, who ordered them to bring about retaliation. Anas bin An-Nadr asked, O Allah's Apostle, will the tooth of Ar-Rabi'a be broken? No, by him who has sent you with the truth, her tooth will not be broken. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, O Anas, Allah's law ordains retaliation. Later the relatives of the girl agreed and forgave her. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, there are some of Allah's slaves who, if they take an oath by Allah, are responded to by Allah, that is, their oath is fulfilled. Anas added, the people agreed and accepted the irsh. Hadīth 14. Narrated Al-Hasan al-Basri, by Allah, Al-Hasan bin Ali led large battalions like mountains against Muawiyah. Amr bin al-As said, to Muawiyah, I surely see battalions which will not turn back before killing their opponents. Muawiyah, who was really the best of the two men, said to him, O Amr, if these killed those and those killed these, who would be left with me for the jobs of the public, who would be left with me for their women, who would be left with me for their children? Then Muawiyah sent 2 Qurayshi men from the tribe of Abdi Shams called Abdur Rahman bin Samurah and Abdullāh bin Amir bin Quraysh to Al-Hasan, saying to them, go to this man, that is, Al-Hasan, and negotiate peace with him and talk and appeal to him. So, they went to Al-Hasan and talked and appealed to him to accept peace. Al-Hasan said, we, the offspring of Abdul Muttalib, have got wealth and people have indulged in killing and corruption, and money only will appease them. They said to Al-Hasan, Muawiyah offers you so, and appeals to you and entreats you to accept peace. Al-Hasan said to them, but who will be responsible for what you have said? They said, we will be responsible for it. So, whatever Al-Hasan asked, they said, we will be responsible for it for you. So, Al-Hasan concluded a peace treaty with Muawiyah. Al-Hasan, al-Basri, said, I heard Abu Bakr saying, I saw Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, on the pulpit, and Al-Hasan bin Ali was by his side. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was looking once at the people and once at Al-Hasan bin Ali, saying, this son of mine is a Sayyid, that is, a noble, and may Allah make peace between 2 big groups of Muslims through him. Hadīth 15. Narrated Aisha, once Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, heard the loud voices of some opponents quarreling at the door. One of them was appealing to the other to deduct his debt and asking him to be lenient, but the other was saying, by Allah, I will not do so. Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, went out to them and said, who is the one who was swearing by Allah that he would not do a favor? That man said, I am that person, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. I will give my opponent whatever he wishes. Hadith 16. Narrated Abdullāh bin Ka'b bin Malik from Ka'b bin Malik, Abdullāh bin Abu Hadrad al-Aslami owed Ka'b bin Malik some money. One day, the latter met the former and demanded his right, and their voices grew very loud. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, passed by them and said, O Ka'b, beckoning with his hand as if intending to say, deduct half the debts. So, Ka'b took half what the other owed him and remitted the other half. Hadith 17. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, there is a sadaqah to be given for every joint of the human body, and for every day on which the sun rises there is a reward of a sadaqah, that is, charitable gift, for the one who establishes justice among people. Hadith 18. Narrated Urwah bin Az-Zubayr. Az-Zubayr told me that he quarreled with an Ansari man who had participated in the Battle of Badr in front of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, about a water stream which both of them used for irrigation. Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said to Az-Zubayr, O Zubayr, irrigate your garden first, and then let the water flow to your neighbor. The Ansari became angry and said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. Is it because he is your cousin? On that, the complexion of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, changed, because of anger, and said, to Az-Zubayr, irrigate your garden, and then withhold the water till it reaches the walls, surrounding the palms. So, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, gave Az-Zubayr his full right. Before that, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, had given a generous judgment beneficial for Az-Zubayr and the Ansari, but when the Ansari irritated Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, he gave Az-Zubayr his full right according to the evident law. Az-Zubayr said, by Allah, I think the following verse was revealed concerning that case, but no, by your Lord, they can have no faith until they make you judge in all disputes between them. Surah 4, Ayah 65. Hadith 19. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullāh, my father died and was in debt. I suggested that his creditors take the fruits, that is, dates, of my garden in lieu of the debt of my father, but they refused the offer, as they thought that it would not cover the full debt. So, I went to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and told him about it. He said to me, when you pluck the dates and collect them in the mirbad, that is, a place where dates are dried, call me, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. Finally, he came accompanied by Abu Bakr and Umar and sat on the dates and invoked Allah to bless them. Then he said, call your creditors and give them their full rights. So, I paid all my father's creditors in full, and yet 13 extra wusks of dates remained, 7 of which were ujwa and 6 were loan, or 6 of which were ujwa and 7 were loan. I met Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, at sunset and informed him about it. On that, he smiled and said, go to Abu Bakr and Umar and tell them about it. They said, we perceived that was going to happen, as Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, did what he did. Hadith 20. Narrated Abdullāh bin Ka'b, that Ka'b bin Malik told him that in the lifetime of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, he demanded his debt from Ibn Abu Hadrad in the mosque. Their voices grew louder till Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, heard them while he was in his house. So he lifted the curtain of his room and called Ka'b bin Malik saying, O Ka'b. He replied, Labbaik. O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. He beckoned to him with his hand suggesting that he deduct half the debt. Ka'b said, I agree, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, then said, to Ibn Abu Hadrad, get up and pay him the rest.